You think you're saving someone's life with this shit? You think that the guy that that you made up in your head, by the way, but the guy that like married a lazy, good for nothing woman that doesn't do nothing, okay, and then she's like, I'm gonna go fuck Chad, okay, and I'm divorcing you, okay, and then she takes half of his shit, and he's like about to kill him. He's like, oh, Jimmy Talks just uploaded a new video. Yes, I'm saved.
They're hardwired to seek the fortress, a shelter for them. Well, when that shelter starts crying because whatever the fuck happened in traffic today or some guy at work disrespected them, the woman inherently feels unsafe and begins looking for an exit. Hate to say this to you guys, I know someone might be seething right now, but that's just the truth. Sorry to tell you. Don't fall for the vulnerable man. Whatever the fuck happened in traffic today or some guy at work disrespected them, the woman inherently feels unsafe and begins looking for an exit.
Unsafe.
Hate to say this to you guys, I know someone might be seething right now, but that's just the truth. Sorry to tell you. Don't fall for the vulnerable man propaganda. This is just a trap that is designed to strip you of your masculine frame and render you easily disposable. The quote, "nice guys finish last" is a quote for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, you know, if you're a man and, like, you are like, hey, babe, I had a really shitty day, and then they're like, oh, what happened? And you're like, I got stuck in traffic. Yeah, that's unattractive. You want to know why? Because getting stuck in traffic isn't that big a fucking deal, okay? It's like, it's nothing. It's nothing. So like, yeah, wait, but, like, the thing is, this applies to women, too. Okay, and you know, I think guys, they might put up with it a little more. Maybe, I don't know. But, like, actually, no, I don't think, men are actually faster to say, like, shut up about your stupid bullshit. Shut up. But, like, yeah, I mean, people do this, like, they blow shit out of proportion. You shouldn't do it as a man, okay? You shouldn't do it as a woman. It's just kind of annoying. It's not, like, an egregious thing. But, yeah, like, getting stuck in traffic or your coworker saying something mean to you, saying something rude to you, that's not really like oh, my day is ruined kind of thing, you know? So, me personally, you have to remember, like, your loved ones, the people around you, they like it when you talk about happy things, positive things, things that you're doing, things that you enjoy, okay? They don't really want to hear about your stupid bullshit that sucks, okay? But, like, now that doesn't mean that you shouldn't talk about these things, okay? If you have, like, negative feelings, of course, like, you should have someone to share them with. Of course. Everybody, you know, feels like that way. But, like, if you do it too much, okay, if you're too negative most of the time and you don't have positive things to say at all, your marriage will fail, man. Your most of your personal relationships will fail if that's how you treat them. Okay, if you just fucking yap and complain all day like you do. Okay, I know. Okay, I know. I know I try to keep it positive here on the J-Star broadcast, but, like, I think a lot of streamers have this problem. Okay, I do this a lot. I talk about politics, I talk about the world, and I have to be really careful about talking about these things in my personal life, with my friends, with my family. Okay? If I say things in the wrong way, right? If I'm negative all the time, like, they're not gonna like it. And I don't wanna like just be negative Nancy. Right? I don't wanna fucking rain on people's parade, okay? I don't wanna be an annoying liberal. In the same way, you should not want to be an annoying fucking Rizless CHUD. You're a little racist sometimes? How? How can you be a little well, how am I racist? What? Anyway, I'll wait, okay? It's fine. I'm gonna keep going. Racist against whites? Yeah, man. Yeah, true. Yeah, I hate Whitey. I'm doing reverse racism. Kill Whitey. Kill. I see white people and my bloodlust activates. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, man, you know, I see, Jimmy Talks, I know that you're a very negative person because you make videos like this. Okay, I know that you're guilty of this. Okay, and I'm telling you, man, if by some miracle you convince a woman to marry you, she will divorce you. And it's not because women are whores. It's not because she fucked Chad. It's not because he flew her to his yacht. Okay? It's because you are insufferable. You are an insufferable, annoying, risless chud. So, stop it. Stop it before you ruin your whole life. I'm serious. It is that serious, man. It is that serious. Like, slow down. Think positively. Okay, and try to do it in, you know, a way that isn't so racist. Like, oh yeah, I'm hopeful about the future because we're gonna get rid of all the black people. Okay, yeah, just be normal. Be normal, be positive. Try to be somewhat positive, okay? I'm telling you, man. People, the thing is, it won't happen overnight. It won't happen instantly. But if you're negative over and over and over with the people around you, they're going to start to hate you. They are going to never want to be around you ever. And I can't blame them. Nobody can. Nobody wants to be around a person like you, man. Do better.
Out of thin air one day. When you do stuff like this, you're giving up the power dynamics. What exactly is the power dynamic? I'll explain real shortly before I move on to the next part of my write-up here. Well, every single human interaction has a leader and a follower. That's just how it works. Doesn't mean it's an inherently bad thing. That's just typically how it works. So if you aren't leading, you're being led. If you're the one asking for permission, or if you're the one constantly apologizing to keep the peace, or if you're the one asking your wife or girlfriend to clean up the mess and actually do some chores, or maybe cook you dinner sometime, you're always asking for it. Never happens. If you let her dictate the terms of the relationship, you've already lost her respect. And women can't love a man they don't respect. This makes them lose attraction. Forget about the Disney movie bullshit. Women don't fall for nice guys. They fall for the high-status, high-value man who exhibits his unapologetic strength. Don't be like these idiots in all these news articles, these think tank retards, these people who drink soy.
You know, it's funny to make fun of him and like write off everything he says, but there is some truth to what he's saying here, and I would actually, I think it's because of conditioning, society conditioning. But like women, they like a little bit of conflict, you know. They like a little bit of fighting. You know, they like that. I think, and maybe men do too to some extent, but I think I see it more in women. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm falling for something. I don't know. But you know, I think women, they kind of like it when you're an asshole sometimes, you know? That's just, I think that's real. Now, not all women, okay? You know, not all, women are not all the same. Women are not a monolith, okay? I know. But, like, I think that, like, generally, this is something that women want. It kind of, like, it adds variety. You know, it keeps you on your toes. You know, it's like women, they don't want to be bored. You know, relationships, they can start to feel boring, samey, routine. You know, those sorts of things, those kind of words. Women really don't like that. I think men don't really care about that as much. You know, like routines and habit, you know, that sort of thing. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Let's keep going.
Soy boys, as we call them. Soy jacks. All right? Don't be one of them. Now, continuing off my side monologue there, speaking of being rendered easily disposable, this leads me directly into the darkest and most legally dangerous part of the modern dating trap, which I call the economics of betrayal. So, if you want to understand why the nuclear family is collapsing, besides feminism and
Dude, just
you know,
kill
feminism
one of
pushed by
them.
early life
Damn.
check. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. That can be
Stab
secondary
him.
feminism.
Yeah,
If
pull
you want
out
to
the
understand why all
sword.
this is
Yeah.
collapsing, and you want to understand why communities
Sorry,
have
I'm not gonna
a bunch of
put
rows
this
and
gameplay
houses
in
and
my
apartments full of
video.
single moms.
Why does he
Chad
suck
built
at
them.
every
You
game?
have to follow the money. We live in a society
How can you be a girlfriendless incel chud that makes that, like, I don't know, maybe he has a job. Maybe he has a job. He posts a lot. Okay, but maybe he has a job, and, you know, I guess given how much he posts, you know, that doesn't give him a lot of time to play video games. But I don't know, man. Like, how are you this bad at gaming? How, man? And why? What? Like, I can see why you want to use B-roll footage. This shit is garbage, man.
And they've done it through the legal system, the family court system. And
I won't bring it up again. Okay, I'll try not to.
Justice or what's fair. It has nothing to do with fairness or what is right in the eyes of God, because this country was adopted on a Christian framework. I'll scream it from the clouds. This is a Christian nation, despite whatever.
No, it's not, man. It's not. I mean, kinda. The founding fathers, many of them were heretics. Okay, they weren't Orthodox Christian. They weren't Protestant. They certainly weren't fucking Catholic. Many of them were deists. Some of them were Unitarians. Okay. Furthermore, they intentionally made our country, our institutions, at their foundation, secular. And this is because the founding fathers were liberals. They believed in a liberal democracy. Okay, in the form of a republic, a constitutional republic. Okay, so what that means is they wanted people to vote for representatives, and they wanted a constitution to limit the government. And the reason they wanted to keep religion out of this system was for equity and for material reasoning. Okay, like, religion is rooted in the non-material world. It's all about spirit and, you know, life after death. Okay, life outside of this material plane that we inhabit. They felt like society, government should be structured that like it's all about material organization, not religion, not spiritual. Okay, and they believed in the equality of all white landowning men. Okay, regardless of religion. And part of the reason why is because the founding fathers many of them were heretics. Okay, that's why they wanted equality for themselves. Do you understand? Like, the churches of the time did not respect what the founding fathers believed. They didn't, about religion, about Christianity, and religion in general. And this includes Protestant churches, okay? Like, Protestant churches back then, this is still kind of true today, they did not consider Unitarians as real Christians. And in fact, neither do I. I think it's heresy, okay? And it is. Okay, but that shit doesn't matter, okay? What matters is, my point is they were like kind of the out group, okay? The founding fathers were, many of them considered themselves Christians, but the broader Christian community did not consider them Christians. This is why they pushed for secular government structure. Okay, or at least it's part of the reason. Okay, it could also be more altruistic reasons, but you know, that's like the individual motivation, right? It was for their own benefit. All right. Anyway, moving on.
For gay rhetoric you have, it was for the haters in the
gay rhetoric.
Don't know their ass from their forehead. This was actually a Christian nation. It was created off of the basis of Christianity. But anyways,
it was
a highly efficient, multi-billion-dollar.
It was modeled after the Roman Republic of a long fucking time ago.
State-sponsored wealth redistribution.
Before Christianity.
It's socialism light. It is designed specifically to take the capital that is generated by the productive, hardworking man and redistribute it to women and to the bloated state bureaucracy itself. Think about this. Think about the sheer, unadulterated insanity of the modern state-sanctioned marriage contract. I'm not talking about religious marriage. I'm talking about the legal, government is involved marriage contract. You are entering an agreement where the government is an active third party in your relationship. If you were to start a business, or maybe start a business with your friend, and that friend or partner, what have you, we're not talking about the girl specifically here, but that partner decides one morning they just aren't feeling it anymore, or they get bored, or they want to go, air quotes, find themselves, or they find someone else they want to go into business with instead of you, they don't get to forcibly dissolve the company, seize half your assets, evict you from your own house, or your own headquarters, so to say, because we're talking about a business here, and demand you to pay them a monthly salary out of your own pocket for the next 10 years, or even the rest of their life. You would never in a million years sign a business contract with those terms. That doesn't make any sense. It would be financial suicide. You would fire any lawyer who brought that contract to your desk. Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? I'm disrespected that you even put that on my table as a contract. Yet, men are walking into family courts and signing state-sponsored marriage license every single day with those exact identical terms. Why do they do that? Because we have no-fault divorce laws in this country. Now, let's be brutally honest about marriage here. I'm not actually anti-marriage. What I am, though, is pro-tradition, and I am pro-family, and I am pretty sympathetic to getting married for religious purposes. I think that's really the only reason you should get married, actually. But if you are entering a state-sanctioned marriage in the modern West, in the United States anyways, you're not entering into a holy covenant. You are entering into a business contract with the government that has already decided that you are the loser before you even sign the paper. Marriage has become a weaponized legal trap. And again, with the creation of no-fault divorces, a woman can just break the most important contract of her life for absolutely no reason other than she feels like it, and still be rewarded with a prize. The state has prioritized women in child support and alimony to such a degree that it borders on state-sanctioned theft. Now, let's look at the history of no-fault divorces. When they introduced no-fault divorce, they disguised it as just a bureaucratic adjustment. It was a way to make things easier and less messy. Also, when these were made back in like the 50s and 60s.
No, that's not it. Okay, no-fault marriage. It was to protect women. It was to protect women. Okay, because women were getting trapped in shitty marriages that they couldn't get out of because of legal red tape. That's it. Like, think about what you're saying, man. A woman could be like, hey, I want a divorce. He's hitting me. And the guy could just be like, bitch is lying. She's lying. Lying whore. That's it.
Women did have to count on men for financial security. So it was a way for them, women didn't work a lot back then. So it was a way for them to be provided for still. But what this has turned into is...
Yeah. So you want women to, just get screwed over in divorces, like you feel like men are today. And that way they'll never leave. And that way she'll never leave me. That way she's forced to stay with me.
It allowed one party to completely blow up
because you know that no sane woman in her right mind, after marrying you and figuring out who you really are, would ever stay with you for a prolonged period of time. Like, you either know this literally or like you just somehow intuitively know it.
Without facing any legal penalty or
societal
penalty for breaking their vows. The data on this is staggering. It's horrifying. When no-fault divorces took over, marriage vastly destabilized. Marriage rates plummeted. The number of divorces soared. What were the consequences of this? Well, poverty and suicide increased massively for the children of divorce. Depression and drug use and also child crime, juvenile crime, exploded as well. The state literally...
Okay, correlation is not causation. Yes, there have been an increase in suicides and overdoses, drug use, drug addiction. Okay. You want to know what got introduced to the market in the 90s? There's a little thing called Oxycontin. You want to know what doctors did when Oxycontin hit the market? They started getting paid, buddy. Oh yeah. Then suddenly, everybody was doing heroin. It must be because women are whores. That must be it. That's why people do heroin.
The divorce industry is just a...
Yeah, man.
Consider this, okay? Consider a man who grinds, who works hard every single day, 20 years to build a successful business while he is married. When his wife gets bored and files for divorce, that business is valued for its liquidation, meaning how much is this worth? And the state hands her half of his life's work that she probably didn't have anything to do with. Maybe he even started the business before he even met her.
What do you mean she had nothing to do with? She was married to him. She was his partner. His life partner. Marriages are supposed to be a joint operation. Okay, like it's 50-50, right? So the man didn't build the bit. Like, you're acting like the man lived separately from his wife and built this business by himself. Like, that's not how it fucking works, man. It's not. It takes two. to build a life. Okay? That's it.
The lifestyle maintenance payments, where a man is forced by the threat of prison to pay for his ex-wife's...
You are making up a situation in your head and getting mad at it. That's what you are doing.
luxury car and her condo years after she has cheated on him and moved on. You know, the lawyers and the judges and the state bureaucrats, that's just how they made the laws. So that's been a massive disaster. But commentators, the conservative commentators who just tell you to go get married to any woman willy-nilly, they won't mention this. Or politicians don't even talk about this. When's the last time you heard a politician talking about divorce? I don't know. I don't think I ever have. And also the media. Why do they all refuse to talk about the tragedy of divorce? Because it's profitable. No-fault divorces creates massive financial incentives for women to file for divorce. The structure of the divorce proceedings guarantees that the
reason that they don't talk about it is because they don't want to address why it's happening, which is the economy. Okay, but you're right. Divorce is a terrible thing. It's traumatic for the children most of the time. Okay, not every time, but I would say most of the time. Because let's be real, divorces are usually not a clean break. Okay, ever. And seeing your parents fight, seeing them hate each other, being forced to choose sides, it's traumatic. Okay, it is. I've experienced this. A lot of other people my age have, because Jimmy is right. Okay, divorces went up. So you're telling me that after the dot-com bubble, the opioid crisis, and the 2008 recession, divorces just so happened to go up. But it's actually because women have more freedom. Do you hear yourself, man? Do you hear what you sound like? Like, you are insane. This is why people on the internet think that you are insane. Okay, people outside of your community, your little echo chamber over here on the Jimmy Talks show. That's why, man. You said it's delusion. It's delusion. Divorces don't just happen in a vacuum. They don't happen because we pass laws that allow women to get more divorces. That's only a very small part of it. Okay, divorces have increased because of poor material conditions. Material condition is worsening over time. Okay? People get divorced because of money. People get divorced because of stress. Because of money. That's why people get divorced. Okay? That's the main thing. And that's exactly why politicians don't talk about it. Because if they did, they would have to address the failing economy and the forever wars and all of this shit. And they don't want to fix any of it. They don't want to, because the rich people don't want to, because all of it benefits them. And we are left to pick up the pieces. But instead of actually picking up the pieces, you want to oppress women and murder brown people. You dumb fuck.
Wife can secure decent levels of support via alimony and take half the assets and gain primary custody of the children, which then brings in child support for the state. The state takes a cut of every child support dollar that moves through its system. Bet you didn't know that one. They have a vested financial interest in all of this.
They get a cut of
everything.
everything.
The fact that they wanted women into the workforce so that they could extract more money from them instead of having one taxpayer with the nuclear family, the traditional family. Now there's more workers out there. They make a lot of money off this shit. Now, also, let's be clear about why these divorces
They make a lot of money off divorce. They make a lot of money off of the things that cause divorce as well. In fact, I'd go as far as to say they make a lot more money off of the things that cause the divorces. Okay? That's what we need to talk about. That's what we need, and that's what we are talking about. But you're saying it's because women be whores and because we gave women rights, and I'm saying that you are fucking stupid. I'm saying that even if we did what you wanted, which we fucking won't, okay, because it's idiotic. It's so fucking stupid. The average American won't fall for this shit. I don't even believe that, okay? And I think most Americans are apathetic, and they just are basically like, you know, fuck everyone else. Like, I'm just trying to make my bag, you know, like, you know, that's what it is, okay? But, like, they won't even be like, oh yeah, let's start oppressing women again. Because they know that that's not gonna fucking fix anything. Because even if we do what you want, what we are going to have is women be in hostage marriages, hostage situation marriages, and the men, like you, who get what you want, are still gonna be miserable. Because everything still sucks. We're still poor. We're still in forever wars with Israel. For Israel. God, I wish we were in a fucking war with Israel. Holy shit.
Besides feelings, because women make stupid decisions. Well, most divorces, which are, I believe, it's over 70%, they're initiated by women. Well, why do they do this? Well, the reasons aren't primarily for abuse or infidelity or the guy just walking away for no reason at all. They are mostly initiated for relatively minor, transient reasons like irreconcilable differences. It's an actual legal term, or drifting apart, or a lack of emotional support. A woman can wake up one morning, decide she isn't happy, because the Disney movie dopamine is worn off, or she's been watching too many chick flicks, which also push rabid feminism. She can then file for divorce, and the full weight and power and weaponry of the United States government will come down on your head to enforce the liquidation of your wife's work. The government then uses terms that are sanitized and gay and stupid sounding, phrases like marital property and community property. But why don't we just call this what it actually is, because this is bullshit. This is just essentially, like I said earlier, a socialist light wealth transfer. It's wealth transfer that's taking place inside of your own home.
No, man. Like I said, when you agree to marry someone, right? And look, if you don't want to do this, then don't get married. At least not in the legal way. Okay, go get married like go let a preacher marry you or something, and like don't put it on the books. All right, don't go to the courthouse. You know, you can do that. You can have a marriage like that if you want. Okay, anyway. Yeah, you're legally not married. Okay? But anyway, when you legally marry someone, it is a joint partnership. You're both agreeing to share share your lives, okay? To help each other. That's it. Okay, so if you marry someone, yeah, they are entitled to half of what you created together. That's it. Okay, so stop bitching. Just don't get married.
Again, let's go back to the business example. A man can work 80 hours a week building a construction business and getting real estate, getting multiple houses, investing in the market.
and who cleans the house and fucking cooks the food and all that shit. Yeah, like I said, like it's a joint operation. And let's not pretend like the wives don't do all that shit and then also help out with the business a little bit. Like they do. They, work some unpaid hours. All right, you are making up a situation in your head to be mad at, and it just doesn't fucking happen. It doesn't happen, man.
It's building a massive nest egg.
Like in your mind, there's all these women. First of all, there's all these men that are building these businesses, and all the women are just like sitting at home watching Oprah, doing nothing. And the guy comes home and he's like, "Hey, honey, oh man, before you step on my balls tonight, do you think you could maybe cook a little bit of dinner?" And she's like, "No, I want you to order Olive Garden." Okay, and then he's like, "Oh, okay, maybe tomorrow." Okay, like, dude, this isn't happening. This is not real life. Okay, you're an insane person. Okay, it's like I keep saying, you're an insane person. Okay, that's it.
That's what he wanted to do. That's what men are biologically wired to do. A woman can contribute absolutely zero economic value to that equation, and instead spend days scrolling TikTok and drinking wine and getting a lot of credit card debt. Yet the law views her as an equal financial partner that is entitled to half of everything you've built, plus a percentage of your future labor. This is why getting married in the modern age doesn't make sense anymore. The system specifically subsidizes and encourages hypergamy. again, let's go back to the past. In the old contract, this kept hypergamy in check through social status and stigmas, and also being ruined economically and financially. If a woman abandoned a good, providing husband to just chase a thrill with some random degenerate guy, she ended up
He's
destitute.
already
She had nowhere
moved
to live. She
on
was
to
ostracized by the
fucking
community. Everyone
Roblox
saw her
or
as a
whatever
homer.
the fuck this is.
Well,
Is this
today,
Ace
it's
of
not the case.
Spades?
Today, the legal system provides a
What is
massive
this?
taxpayer-funded safety net instead. The state allows her to initiate a divorce, extract half of your
We're on
resources.
game
secure
number
monthly
4
alimony
right
payments
now.
and
He
child
died
support
in the
payments,
other game.
and
Now
use
we're
your
on
hard-earned
game
money
number
to fund her
4.
lifestyle while she searches for your replacement. You're literally being forced by the government under the threat of going to jail to finance your own cuckoldry. It really pains me that I had to say that. That's how it is. Even in some states that are trying to pass laws that
that's
assumes
how
a
it
50-50
is.
split immediately in child custody to make things fairer.
That's exactly how it is, yep.
It is still a fundamentally rigged game. It doesn't really matter. Setting a default position, it might increase a man's predictability of being able to win or get better outcomes, but it doesn't change the fact that the entire no-fault regime is geared towards incentivizing dissolution of the family unit. The system actually makes betrayal quite lucrative.
You know, man, the thing is, even if what he's saying is true, which it's not, there's some truth to some of the things he said in this video, but he's bullshitting, okay, the entire video. But anyway, even if it was true, you don't have to get married, okay? Like even if marriage is unfair for men today, you don't have to get married, okay? Women in the past, marriage was unfair and they had to get married. Okay, like they just unless, you know, it was like they could live with their parents for life. Okay, unless it was like one of those situations. Okay, but like women, they couldn't get jobs. They couldn't support themselves on their own. They couldn't even open bank accounts without their husband. Okay, so women, they had to get married. You do not have to get married. If you don't like it, then don't fucking get married, dumbass.
At the peak of the divorce settlement cycle, so to say, the math often dictates that it is actually more profitable for her to cash out than to stay loyal and work through marital issues. The state has monetized treachery and being a wench. Therefore, any man operating under what is now the new contract must view the legal system as a hostile foreign adversary. This is the enemy at the gates, and they're pounding on the gates right now, trying to get their hands through the gates to unlock the door. You must engage in extreme, uncompromising financial defense. I'm talking about bulletproof asset protection. Not literally, but you get what I'm saying? You know, you set up trust and LLCs. You need to sign a prenup, most importantly. This is exactly why a prenuptial agreement is no longer optional. It is a mandatory survival tool. A prenup is not planning for failure. It is building a fortress against a hostile legal system. It legally
put all your money in
assets.
Switzerland.
Your business, your job, or whatever nest egg
Get
you
some
build for
Swiss
yourself,
bank
and establishes
accounts.
clear
Hide your
boundaries
money.
before the state can step in and take all of your shit. If you bring up a prenup to a woman you're dating, you plan to marry, and she throws a fit, I don't know why you'd be getting married anyways at this point, but if she throws a fit and manipulates you or refuses to sign it or gives up some other bullshit reason, walk away immediately. Because she is loudly broadcasting that she views your marriage as a financial vehicle for her own extraction. She shouldn't have a problem with that. Do not sign a secular, state-sponsored marriage contract without legal protection, period. Because, again, why on God's green earth would you invite a corrupt, anti-male, globalist-aligned government into your bedroom and your bank account? You don't need a piece of paper from a corrupt state bureaucrat. We already know they're all corrupt to prove your commitment to a woman. And if a woman demands that piece of paper, she demands that you sign a legally binding contract that heavily favors her and penalizes you. Again, she is signaling her true intentions. She is signaling that she wants the state's guns pointed at your head as her personal insurance policy. You have to have economic sovereignty. Just like we talk about with our nation being controlled by desert New Jersey, it's the same thing here with your relationship. You're not sovereign. You're controlled. If your net worth is subject to the emotional whims of a woman who can't make up her fucking mind half the time, go ask her what she wants for dinner if you don't believe me. And the arbitrary ruling of a blue-haired, liberal, feminazi family court judge, you are not a free American man.
Feminazi, woke-tard.
In the debt. So, at the end of this, nearing the end of this video now, you may be asking yourself, well, what is the solution, Jimmy? This shit sounds fucking hopeless. Yeah, it's shitty. It sucks. I'll give you that. Well, if the old contract is dead, Jimmy, if the culture is a psyop, Jimmy, and if the legal system is a trap, Jimmy, what do I do? How do I survive? Very valid questions. Very important. Good questions. You need to transition permanently and unapologetically to the new contract. This is just what we have to deal with. This is the shit on the plate. Let's deal with the shit on the plate that's right in front of us. The new contract, however, it's not romantic. It's not a Disney movie. It's not the nice guy gets the girl at the end of the movie. It's not like that. It never was. It is not something you are ever going to see celebrated again in these Hollywood Disney movies or some sort of mainstream media article that's written by some guy who's a fucking homo anyways. It is a strictly transactional, low-risk, self-preserving framework that is designed specifically for you or for men who are awake to the reality that the current social and legal environment, meaning feminism, rabid, disgusting feminism that has made women degenerates and full-on displayed their brand swinging and hypergamy, or the legal environment like we just talked about for the past 10 minutes, is recognizing that it's openly hostile to your very existence. The new contract means you have to take your power back from the state and from modern women and give yourself the power. It's like sovereignty from our nation from desert sand, New Jersey. It's like taking it back. It's the same idea. It's just you with relationships. So, what I would recommend, the very first rule I'll give you, which is the new contract, is the definitive end of all of this. So, for your entire life, You have been conditioned by a feminized, longhouse, egalitarian, anti-male society to believe that your worth as a man is determined by how much you sacrifice for others, specifically, how much you sacrifice for women. You are told that a real man provides and protects and sacrifices without ever asking for anything in return and without ever expecting respect or obedience.
Yeah, man. Well, no. But anyway, I think that is, he's kind of right about that. Once again, you know, masculine, roles, right? Like, you know, both genders. Obviously, I'm a woke-tard. I believe gender is a construct, okay? And basically, what gender is it's a series of characteristics that we ascribe to people, okay? People based on what gender they're assigned when they're born, okay? Now, usually, it's easy to do that, but it can get kind of complicated with intersex people, you know, people with different chromosomes, and stuff like that. Anyway, so men are, generally, they are supposed to be, what did he say again? My bad.
Is determined by how much you sacrifice for others.
Yeah, men they sacrifice.
Under the new contract, stop providing.
They're loyal. They don't, this is, you know, these are virtuous characteristics that I think men should have. Okay, selfless, right? What I'm saying is, society expecting these things, it's not bad, okay? What's bad is the organization of materials. Rich people have all the money. Poor people do not have the money. And it's getting worse over time. The wealth disparity is growing. It's not good. Bad.
For free. Period. Not just your money, but also your attention. Your money, your time, your emotional energy, your physical protection are the most valuable assets on this earth. You don't just give them away willy-nilly to any woman who demands it, or to a society that views you as disposable. If you are dealing with a woman, the relationship is entirely transactional. I'm sorry, but this is just how it has to work nowadays. This is the younger generation's plight. This is what we have to deal with.
Holy shit, how is there still 30 minutes left,
All relationships
bro?
throughout human history have been transactional. The old contract just propped it up with tradition and religion and social duty, which made this a good contract. Talked about it. It is a contract when you look at it objectively, right? Well, the new contract just stripped that away. So why don't we look at the raw math here? You look at what is on the table with women. If you are bringing security, financial resources, physical protection, emotional stability, and what have you, what exactly is she bringing? If the answer is just herself, or her vagina, my presence, or her physical intimacy, then the deal is off. It doesn't make sense. Are you benefiting from this? 9 times out of 10, you don't. You're just cutting your losses in a business way.
Yeah, man. Well, when you see women as, like, not a person that you can share your feelings with, right? Like, talk to like a normal person. Yeah, what do they have? Maybe they have a career, right? Basically, they have, like, their career and their bodies, okay? A wife is supposed to be a friend, okay? Wife is friend, Jimmy. Wife is a homie, in a way. Maybe not like the boys, okay? Maybe she's not just like the boys, okay? That's okay. That's okay. Wife, still friend, okay? And so, what my point is a woman brings something to the table. It is her mind, okay? Yeah, I know. J-Star, you fucking idiot. Women are stupid. Women aren't funny. They don't know nothing. Man, look, it's like I said. Women, they are just normal fucking people, okay? And, in fact, they have a different perspective from your own, because they have lived a very different life from you, right? And that is a good thing. That is an opportunity to learn about different mindset, about different perspectives. Do you understand? Okay, so, like, yeah, my point is if you don't value those things, and I know you don't, okay, a woman's mind, then yeah, she's just a pussy. She's just a walking pussy, bro, and with the organs attached, with the other organs. Okay, that's it. What, like, dude, like, what is a woman in the trad way of life, if not just you know, a non-person, she's just a pussy. She is an object. Do you understand? Anyway.
Physical intimacy is abundant and cheap in the modern world. If she can't provide what actually matters, like unwavering loyalty, being peaceful, and being exclusive to you only, and genuinely cooperating with you.
Oh, okay, okay. You see? You see? So, she is just a body. Okay, think about what he's saying, dude. Like, I don't know. It's probably obvious to my fellow woketards, but, like, listen to this shit.
Being peaceful and being exclusive to you only.
Being exclusive to you only. Controlled. Yeah, man. Well, look, you know, it's not that I'm against monogamy. Okay, it's not like, but like viewing women in this way is it's objectifying. It's like a woman is an object, she's mine, and this is the main thing that she cannot do with her body anything that I do not want her to do. Like that. This is it, bro. It's okay if you want these things, by the way. If you want a person to be, you know, exclusive. Okay, of course. Of course. It's just like, if that's one of the core tenets of your relationship, that's weird. Okay, like your marriage should be found on, you know, shared morals or like ideology or something, shared interests, not fucking exclusivity, purity, these like identity based things. Okay, it should be about the mind, Jimmy. A woman is a person. There's a brain in there, just like in your mind, just like in your head. In your skull.
And genuinely
there's a fucking brain in there.
Rejecting the modern, feminist, rabid, disgusting, SJW, blue-haired, door-locked refrigerator, feminist
I'll be right back.
Then you have to just withdraw. Withdraw your resources immediately. You owe her nothing. Now, the next thing I would say, the next second rule I would say is radical, uncompromising, self-prioritization. Not in a narcissist way, but it kind of coincides with what I said before. You need to cut your losses with something that's bad and invest into something that's good instead. You need to look at your life as an empire that you are building entirely for yourself. Because your capital is finite. You don't have it forever. Especially, you know, we're normal guys here, most of us. Your energy is finite. You don't have unlimited energy, although that would be sick. That would be fucking awesome if we did, but we don't. Your time on this earth is finite. You're going to die eventually. You must invest it into your own physical health, your own financial portfolio, your own education, your own skills. I've told you in videos in the past, start getting your own skills up. It doesn't just apply to being against the government or being able to get a job. It also applies here. Stop bleeding your resources out to an ungrateful woman, an ungrateful bitch, an ungrateful hag. Stop paying for expensive dinners just because you might have a chance at getting with this girl, especially if this woman is texting other guys under the table the whole time. When you take all that misdirected energy and you start compounding it within yourself, you become a force of nature. Imagine how many hours you spend on the app swiping. 5 hours of swiping, 5 hours of talking to bitches. You might get one date and then she might flake at the end and not even show up. What if you took 10 hours and you put it into yourself, trying to get skills or building that business or maybe starting a YouTube channel or something like that? What if you took all that time? If you took all that money you spent, $20 to get into the bar, the cover charge, but the women don't pay that. $100 spent on drinks. What else? Money on the Uber, $30, $40 to get back home because you don't drunk drive, obviously. I don't think you should drunk drive. Let's look at all that money. Let's just look at all that money. What if you took all that money instead and you invested it? Instead of going out on useless expenditures, you would have a shit ton of money. What's shocking is when you add up all of these relatively small amounts of money, it's just how much women cost you in terms of time and money and energy. Everything from doing favors for women and going on dates and buying them things or just enduring some dumb bitch's painful conversation that she has the intelligence of a rock. It is a price you'll pay that is on par with a man paying for a divorce. For example, a girl wants you to go to a nightclub with her. You don't really know her well yet. Well, in my opinion, fuck that shit. But if you're there for 4 or 5 hours, it's $20 to get into the door, as I mentioned earlier with all this stuff. $40 in gifts for her, $20 in drinks, $10 to park, and 3 hours of being tortured by annoying loud music and being bumped into and some dumbass spilling their drink all over you, so now you smell like alcohol, all to watch her soak up all the attention from all the other dudes. She's not giving you enough, and you're not getting any at the end of the night anyways. What would you have done with that time and that $100, that $90? You could have worked and maybe picked up an extra shift, maybe earned more money. You could have worked on your business. You could have chilled at home for free. You could have hung out with your friends. You could have studied and improved your skills and yourself and everything you have going on, which boosts your wage. You could have fixed that annoying problem with your car. You could have just taken that money and treated yourself to a very nice meal. You would have never afforded otherwise. The point here is just how much men drastically underestimate themselves and what they can achieve in life. Take a look at society and civilization and everything that men have built. Cities, all this stuff. Men built that. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you're the next Bill Gates or something like that, but it does mean that you could be an engineer or a CPA or a man who has his house paid off, some other journeyman or something like that. But all that assumes you're smart enough to invest in yourself instead of investing into some dumb whore at a nightclub. So you need to be unemotional in your approach. What is the realistic chance of a return on investment? Or more specifically, does this girl actually like you? You need to be completely honest with yourself and not ask what you'd like, but ask what it is. The truth is, most men are somehow negotiating or convincing or otherwise gesture maxing and pulling.
Yeah, I mean, it's decent advice, unironically. Yeah, man, like focus on yourself. No shit. Yeah, don't fucking hyperfixate on what other people think about you. Okay, when you meet a woman or when you meet a person, and you like ask them on a date, maybe you guys start going on a few dates, like don't pay attention to them and what they say. Okay, and think about it, but don't be in the mindset, in the headspace that like oh, I need to figure out if this person is trying to get my money or like trying to get something out of me. Like no, man, that is unhealthy. That is like, if you go through life treating everyone like that, okay, you're gonna have a bad time. But even if you just treat your potential partners like that, you're gonna have a bad time. Like you're gonna be anxious. You're gonna be like very distrusting. That's not good for your relationships. That's not a good like foundation. Okay, but pay attention to what they say, and if they give you a reason to doubt them, to maybe think like, oh, like maybe this person is trying to get something from me, then okay, well there you go, and think about it and then maybe scrutinize more, but you can't just assume that people are out to get you and like they want your shit. Okay, it's stupid, it's dumb, no, man. That's not what dude, you offer no solutions, man, other than like just be highly skeptical of all women around you because they just like want to fuck Chad and take your money.
Teeth for a girl to like them. It is frustrating. It's an all-around pain in the ass, and that is the reason why deep down inside most girls aren't into most guys. That is why when you take all this misdirected energy and you start compounding it within yourself, you become a force of nature. You build a life that is so undeniably strong, so financially bulletproof, and so physically imposing that you do not need to seek validation from some broken, degenerate culture at a shitty nightclub with overpriced drinks full of women who don't give a fuck about you. You become the prize. You must prioritize this. You must be the prize that women want to chase after. You become the center of gravity. This is why I'm big on looks maxing and improving yourself, diet, spiritual, skills-wise. As I've already mentioned now. Remember the 80-20 rule we talked about earlier? As that number keeps on getting higher and higher,
looks maxing can be kind of silly and it can also be kind of harmful, okay? But yeah, I mean, improving your the way you look is normal. It's a journey that many men go through. I've gone through it myself. And I don't go to the gym anymore, obviously, but I think I'm still hot. But anyway, what he is saying is just kind of basic, but good advice. Okay, like, yeah, love yourself, respect yourself, and the bitches will come. Okay, that's it. Focus on your own bag, but most importantly, understand, be cognizant of the way you treat people, the way you think about others, right? Because like I said, if you are a very negative person and you treat people that way, right, whether you're focusing on yourself or not, that is unattractive. That is highly unattractive, actually.
Could even be 90-10. The illusion of choice for the average man completely vanishes. So if you're not in that top tier, you are effectively a ghost. So that means you need to better yourself. And this is called looks maxing nowadays. This term's been around long before clavicular, by the way. Before anyone starts mentioning all that, I just want to put that out there. He has just brought it to the forefront,
no
and
shit.
I actually appreciate him for that. That's why I actually don't mind him, because he has brought to attention these dudes. They get on these videos. You see these clips of him. Some guy with his girlfriend, and the girl just immediately wants Chad's attention. That is hypergamy. It's right in front of your face. You can see it. Now, looks maxing, this does not necessarily mean being a vain, mirror-obsessed narcissist and smoking crystal meth and hitting your face with a hammer. Obviously, you guys know me well enough by now, I think that's fucking stupid. But it is actually about the baseline biological warfare
Nah, bro, that's base. That's Chad.
I don't even know. Probably almost every single video
that's
now.
Chad maxing.
But you also need to just get a skincare routine.
Smoke
clean your
meth.
face when you wake up, moisturize it. Before you go to sleep, clean your face, moisturize it. Just get some CeraVe. It's that simple. Start off with that. And I'd recommend taking some high-quality supplements because all the food we have nowadays, let me get into the food here, but I would recommend a supplement, and the one that I only take one. That is Ancestral Supplements Beef Organs. No, this is not an ad. This is just what I take. So this gives you a lot of minerals because it takes the heart of the cow and the liver and the kidneys and it puts it all together. We used to eat all these. These things are organs, like beef organs are just a powerhouse of vitamins and minerals that you need. So now, speaking of food, we don't get enough of that. We don't get enough vitamins from our food. Well, why is it so hard now?
I bet this guy is single or divorced with a kid. Yeah, I don't think he has kids. God, I hope not. Shit, I mean, you said something else the other day about Jake Monroe. Yeah, dude, I hope they don't have kids. I doubt it. He probably lives with his mom. That'd be my guess. He lives in mom's basement. Okay, that's it.
Why is everyone fucking fat? I made a video on this. Why are Americans so fat? Well, people were coping. They're like, well, it's also the rest of the world. I'm like, well, I mean, sure, but Americans,
yeah, but but why? Yeah, Americans were ahead of the curve on that, bro. So he makes this speech, yet he doesn't have any. I don't know. I mean, he's saying that like society is ruined because women be whores and the government is making them whores and blah 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 blah. You know, he's advocating for a trad lifestyle, but he's saying that he doesn't, or maybe he's saying that like it's out of reach for most people. I don't know if he's really talked much about his personal experience in this video. I don't think so. Although I think it says a lot. I think this video says a lot about his personal life. But prostitution has been around since the dawn of time. Why is this such a shock of value to people? Well, it's actually been around since the dawn of agriculture, but, I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. The reason that it's shock value is it's just kind of taboo in American society. No, man, I'm old, I know. What do you know? You're old? You're not old. You're like 5 seconds older than me. How old are you? Alright, anyway.
Sure, it's other.
I'm ancient. I've been around since the dawn of time. Oh, okay, okay.
Maybe the video, maybe the title of that video.
Right,
why is it so fast? But I digress. I don't like that.
Dude, I am 50. You aren't 50. You aren't 50. What the fuck are you doing watching me if you're 50? The fuck? I'm sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. What is a gay 50-year-old man doing watching such a young, handsome white boy such as myself?
It's because the food supply in Western countries.
I mean, didn't that 50-year-old right-winger love you on Discord? Bro, dude, I don't know what that guy, I don't know nothing about that guy. Never said I am gay, I said kind of. Oh, my bad. My bad. Sorry for assuming.
This is literal poison. It's a biological attack, essentially. Ultra-processed foods and industrial seed oils and artificial flavors have absolutely curb-stomped everybody. It's incredibly sickening how deceptive the food industry has become. They engineer these fake flavor profiles that completely hijack your brain. Your taste buds are tricked into thinking your body is receiving the dense nutrients that it's craving, but you're actually...
Not really. It's just sugar, man. It's just... They put sugar in everything. Okay, are there preservatives in a lot of food? Yeah. Yeah, is that potentially bad for you? Well, honestly, I'm not sure. I don't think we're really sure yet. Okay. That being said, there is definitely some poison in our food, like red 40, right? But that's a dye. Okay, that's literally just to make it look red. So they put it in Skittles. I've been eating frozen pineapples, strawberries, and making smoothies with spinach. That's good, man. That's good. Okay. But anyway, they put sugar in everything. Sugar, it trick your brain. That, I mean, sure, but that's kind of misleading. I think that's misleading verbiage. But you're not a dietitian, Jimmy, so I don't blame you. Sugar is a drug. I mean, like everything is a drug when you think about it. Sugar isn't really a drug. Not really. Well, You know, it is, I think it is a psychoactive substance. Actually, let's find out. Is sugar psychoactive? I think it is, actually. So I guess it is a drug. You're right. Sugar can cause diabetes. It can hurt the body. Well, I mean, yeah, but that's not what makes things drugs. Sugar can be considered psychoactive due to its ability to alter brain function and influence mood, perception, behavior, primarily through the release of dopamine. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I meant. So it's not really psychoactive in the traditional sense, but anyway, I guess sugar is a psychoactive substance, which kind of makes it like drugs. But anyway, drugs are things that you take. Like, food is drugs. Okay, food is like. It depends on how you define drugs, basically. But if you define drugs as, like, altering your brain chemistry, then all food is a drug. All food. Because, like, your brain, you eat food, and then your brain is like, oh, my stomach is full now, okay? And that's a psychoactive event, right? That's like a psychoactive process. When you consume something so much it can kill you, you ate nothing but sugar, you will die. Yes, but not because of the sugar, but because of the lack of certain vitamins. Okay, if you only eat sugar, you will get vitamin deficiency. It's not the sugar that kills you. She said so. What is this? Oh yeah, Mary Poppins. Yeah, man.
In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. Find the fun and
dude, boomers love this shit, man. Look at those ugly ass kids. Why do they look like that? Kids were so ugly, so you agree? LMAO? Yo, there's no way. You heard me say that. There's no way, bro. Okay, anyway. No, man, kids looked old back then. Yeah, I mean, that's what working in the coal mines does to you. She was probably 32 and looks 40. She looks younger than that in this. What? Julie Andrews? Yeah. Anyway, man. Sugar is just your body. It really likes sugar. Okay. The reason why is because it can break sugar down into. It can burn the sugar into energy very quickly, very efficiently. Okay. So that's why when humans would find high calorie foods, they would eat it very quickly, and then the sugar gets stored in the form of glucose in your adipose tissue, okay, your fat cells. And this causes your fat cells to swell. Okay, so the sugar gets stored in them, and then the fat swells. This is what causes, the fattening effect. Okay, so like you don't really gain fat, your fat cells just get bigger. Okay, and anyway, your body will break down this fat into sugar again. It'll take the sugar out of your fat, but that is kind of expensive. That takes more calories. So your body wants to burn the energy when you eat it, if that makes sense. Okay. But anyway, sugar is kind of a drug if you consider food a drug. Yeah, I agree with that. But if companies know it's bad, why we advertise it so much? Why not promote salads and fruits in stores with massive signs? Because, like I said, sugar is a very efficient, very effective calorie delivery system. Okay, you put some sugar in the food. And people like the food better. Okay, they're more likely to come back, be repeat customers. Okay, our bodies, they like sugar. Okay, capitalism doesn't distinguish between what's good for people and what people want. Okay, capitalism only cares about what people want. LOL, if there's no sugar, we still gotta eat. We're coming back no matter what. Yeah, well, I mean, it's about competition, is what I mean. Like the restaurant that puts the sugar in their food, they get more customers. Okay, unless there is a law that regulates sugar content. But anyway, that's why nutrient information is so important. Okay, like the calorie information and like what's in your food, you know, how much sugar is in it relative to the other content. You know, it's important stuff. And that's why restaurants have to show you what's in the food. But I do agree, we are a fat country, but the more we fatten people up, the more we consume, the more money they make. Yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of. It's not really the fattening of people that getting people fat. The process of becoming fat is profitable for a company. Okay, excessively eating, right? Eating more food, getting more calories. It's profitable for a company, of course, because you're buying more food. Okay, so on a massive scale, you know, one person that's not a lot of more profit, but if you broaden your site to all people, right, and you have a lot of people becoming fat, the money adds up. But are we really looking at the nutrition? Who is looking at the lack of at the back of a gallon of ice cream and the servings were tripling the serving? Yeah, I know. Like, people don't read it. Okay, they're not informed. They don't, like, because the game changed. Okay, the game, like there was a push for dietary information to be put on labels, and then the game became, you know, let's keep people ignorant, let's spread misinformation, stuff like that. Okay, and you may already know this. There was the sugar industry pushed for propaganda to say that fat, right, like you know, oil is what causes you know, people to get fat. That's not true. Okay, it's just not true. It's sugar. Anyway, back to this bullshit.
Swap. This leads to overeating. You are simultaneously starving for real nutrition.
Not trying to be annoying. You're not annoying, man. But I wish I could go back and realize how awful on the excessive amount I consumed. Well, it's not your fault, man. It's not. You know, it's not like a personal moral failure to be ignorant of dieting and all of that shit. But it's good that you were able to like make it out of that. A lot of people, it kills them. You know, it's sad. Some people like me don't have a problem with it because I you know, first of all, I grew up with food insecurity, and that's only part of it. Okay, a lot of people that live in food insecure households, they're overweight. Okay, and it seems counterintuitive, but it's true. Okay, there are people who are overweight and they live with food insecurity. They don't know where they'll get their next meal. They don't. It's sad. Okay, but people assume that if you're fat, you don't have that problem. Okay, it's just not true. But anyway, you know, I experienced that, and I just you know, it also doesn't help when you live in a poor area. They just add fried food places near you. Yeah, of course. Yeah, fast food is convenient for working people, for the working poor. Okay, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap either. Like, you know, people think fast food is inexpensive. It's not. You know, it's not. It's kind of an open secret. Like, most people that are like, you know, they're like woke or whatever. They're like, you know, they're aware of these things, and they, you know, think it's like secret knowledge or whatever. They're like, oh yeah, you know, well, why don't the stupid poor people just go make their own food. Well, like, you know, they work. They be working full time. Okay, it's like, it's hard to do that. So, anyway, you know, it's almost like maybe we should just, like, you know, have like healthy food everywhere and have it accessible, which is possible, and for as cheap as possible. And all of these things are possible, but actually it's not possible. J-Star, it's not, you fucking idiot. You dumbass. Because who's gonna pay for it? The taxpayer? Who's gonna pay for it?
And there's also hidden sugar in everything. Foods you wouldn't even suspect
Yup,
are loaded
yup,
with
it's
high fructose
true.
corn syrup just to keep you addicted to.
He's right. He's right. Okay, high fructose corn, that's not the same thing. You're confused. God, dude. When this guy talks about dieting and it's just so mind-numbing. Like, he did this a while ago. I watched a video where he was talking about fuck, what was it? He was talking about seed oils. That was it. And how, like, seed oils will kill you. You know, no, man, high fructose corn syrup, it's not the same as sugar. Okay, they're not, like, interchangeable. High fructose corn syrup is literally what the words describe. Okay, as weird as it sounds, it's syrup made from corn, and it's high in fructose. Fructose being a form of sugar. Okay, so it, you know, when what we mean by high fructose corn syrup, it doesn't, like, have a ton of sugar in it. It actually has a lot less sugar than you might think. But the reason it's called high fructose is because it is a corn syrup that has more fructose in it than most corn syrups. Okay, now that being said, I'm no expert in this. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I think what I just said is accurate. But I know that it's definitely not as, like, sugar dense as, like, literally granulated sugar. And that's part of or actually that's pretty much the entire reason why there was such a push for it to be put in sodas instead of traditional cane sugar. Okay.
To it. It makes you eat a lot more of it because it activates your happy sensors in your brain. And the biggest part I noticed about this,
yeah, sugar does do that. Yeah,
the $1 great value.
That's what I was just saying.
Look at the sugar on the back of these things. It's basically cake. This is exactly why I personally only eat not raw, but real fermented sourdough bread, because everything on the shelf is fucking garbage. And if it wasn't enough,
well, white bread. Okay, sourdough. You don't have to get sourdough. Okay, there's also wheat bread. The thing is, white bread, it's not just full of sugar. It sucks. It's bland. I don't know why people eat it. Like, it's just not good. Okay, but if you want, like, a sweet bread, there are way better sweet breads than white bread, dude. Like, I don't know. I don't know why people buy it. I don't know how it became popular. It must be a psyop or something. I'm not sure. But my favorite sweet bread is Hawaiian bread. Yeah, that shit is good. Okay, bread in general isn't appealing to me. Also, I think combined is the worst thing in the South. Cornbread is the worst thing in the South. You're crazy, bro. You're crazy. You are wrong. That ain't the worst thing in the South. The worst thing in the South is the Klan. Okay, but I'm kidding. Okay, but as far as food goes, I'm a Southerner. Okay, I think Southern food is really good. You're from the South, of course you disagree. I meant the worst thing when it comes to bread, LMAO. Okay. I mean, cornbread is kind of dry, okay? I think white bread is the worst when it comes to bread. Okay, that's just me, though. White bread is garbage, okay? I haven't eaten it since I was a kid. And even when I was a kid, I ain't really like it. Okay, but I'm telling you, Hawaiian bread, very good. Very good. I love Hawaiian bread, dude. Basically, anything you make with white bread, just use Hawaiian bread instead, and it's better. Hawaiian bread is great, but bad for the hips. Yeah, I mean, it's like white bread. It's got a bunch of sugar in it. Yeah. But wheat bread is a good alternative. I don't really like wheat bread, to be honest. I don't like whole wheat. like Jimmy, I like sourdough. I like French bread, okay, like baguettes. That shit's really good. Focaccia. Delicious. I love focaccia. Italiano, okay? I think it is. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Italian. I oddly forced myself to love wheat and whole. Might be from working at the nursing home. Also tried prune juice. LOL. Yeah, I just prune juice. Yeah, I don't. That's for the old people, man. You don't need that. You don't need that. Anyway, unless you're trying to pass a drug test, okay? I've heard great success. Okay, it works for that. Just saying. Anyway, wheat bread. I don't like it. It's not good. It's too like chunky and chewy and. Never done drugs in my life nor smoke. I think you told me that before. Yeah.
Of reason for your health. The poison food, that's not enough. We are living in a toxic sludge. There are microplastics everywhere. It's in the water you drink. It's in the air that you breathe. These are known endocrine disruptors. Everyone has low T nowadays. Well, I wonder why. Everything's fucking toxic and bad for you. They're literally
because of plastic in your balls, right?
We get the big picture.
That's what I think.
The toxic environment, the deliberately poisoned food supply, in a society that's completely overrun by
it's not really the sugar in the food, man.
Absolutely everything in this culture is
probably not the preservatives either.
And masculinity. They want you fat and sick and depressed and docile. So you have to reclaim your biology. You know, lose the weight if you need to lose weight. Start tracking your calories. Get a free calorie tracker app. A lot of them have barcode scanners. It makes it real easy. Weigh your food. Get a little food scale. It's like $10 on Amazon. Lose the weight if you don't need to lose weight. Then gain the muscle if you must. You need to lock in with your diet and fix your hormones and start making more money, no matter what it takes. You can't win if you're physically broken. That's the society that we live in nowadays. This is the new contract. Now, the next rule that I have. You need to rigorously vet all of these women in case they're subverted already. So under the new contract, you do not just look at a woman's appearance, this is what many men do, you have to look at her programming. Think of it like a computer. Does she have the feminist slop downloaded onto her? Does she have the OnlyFans entitled bitch download software, whatever, you get what I'm saying, I mixed up my words there. Does she consume toxic mainstream media? Oh, Love Island, we're just a bunch of people on an island, we're encouraged to all fuck each other. What? Oh, Cuties, a show about girls that are sexualizing little girls on Netflix to dance in child pageants.
Okay, come on, man. Who said Love Island and Cuties? That is not comparable, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, look, I've seen Love Island. It's not for me. Okay, me personally, I think it's kind of lame and boring. Okay, like it, because you know he's right. Okay, that is pretty much what the whole show is about. It's a bunch of mostly idiots on an island fucking each other and, you know, drama and whatnot. But if that's your thing, you know, I get it. Okay, meet the Kardashians. It's whatever. But anyway, Cuties is just like it's pedophilia. Okay, it's like straight up, dude. Like that's what it is. Okay, I'm sorry. Like it. You know, I understand that, like, little girls, they, you know, a lot of them, they want to be in, like, the pageants and whatnot, but, like, I think that child beauty pageants, it's wrong, okay? Like, just because little girls volunteer to do these things, it shouldn't exist in the first place. Okay, this shit shouldn't exist. It's weird. Okay, it's weird. It's like it's normalization of the sexualization of children. Okay. You know, it's another symptom of the infantilization of women. I think. It's just it's weird. All right. Anyway.
Show. What? Well, does she also have a roster of male orbiters on her phone or on Instagram? Does she speak highly of feminism and she's like, oh, the patriarchy? Does she lack a relationship with her father? Is her father a good guy? If she displays the markers of modern cultural subversion, she is a liability. Straight up. You don't bring a Trojan horse inside your own city walls, no matter how pretty it looks on the outside.
Oh yeah, by the way, this person like is currently advocating for the infantilization of women, by the way. Forgot to mention that.
And stab you with a
same guy that loves cuties, or I mean hates cuties.
The next most critical rule to me is maintaining absolute, unyielding power of being able to walk away. In this modern landscape, the only true leverage you have is your willingness to walk away and never look back. You need to have options. The second you convince yourself that you need a specific woman, in other words, you have one-itis. The second you adopt a scarcity mindset instead of an abundance mindset, and you believe that you cannot live without this one specific girl, you have handed over the keys to your own destruction. You have to have an abundance mindset. You have to understand that there are millions of options out there, and your attention and your resources and your commitment are actually high-value commodities. These are valuable things. They have to be earned, not just freely distributed to anybody, like a fucking charity case. So if the terms of the new contract are violated, or, if she disrespects you, or if she attempts to manipulate you, don't argue. Don't raise your voice. Don't even get mad. You don't go to couples therapy to sit on a couch and discuss it with some libtard, blue-haired counselor and tell you why your toxic behavior hurts.
Yeah. Don't talk to counselors or psychiatrists or therapists. Yeah, man. Yeah, wow, what a shocker that you would say those things. Yeah, crazy. But with that being said, I mean, yeah, don't hyperfixate on one person, right? If the love of your life rejects you, move on. It takes time. It's okay. But like, if it begins to consume you, right? Or I mean, like, if you don't move on, it depends on, like, did you date this person for a long time, or did you, like, have a crush on them and then they rejected you, like, that. If it takes you, like, more than a few weeks to move on, like, seek help. Okay, go to therapy. Okay, for real, because that's not normal. Okay, if you treat your crush rejecting you like the end of a 20-year marriage, like you need help, bro. Okay, but so I agree with that, but like, but like, if you do that, then like, you should go to counseling. You should seek therapy.
It's all your fault, and you're actually also paying $150 an hour for this because of your patriarchal privilege.
No, you pay $150 for this because of the lack of adequate health care in this country. Everything is fucking expensive as fuck, and there is no welfare to give you health care. That is it. That's it. That's why it's expensive. It shouldn't be expensive. I agree with that.
Back up your resources and withdraw your attention, and you leave.
But the solution is not to just not go to therapy. If you have mental problems, you should go to therapy. Okay, you need to first, you have to recognize that you have mental problems, and then you go to therapy to get help with them. Okay, that's what you do. And yes, it's expensive. Yes, that sucks. Yes, that creates more anxiety for you, okay, financially. But like, it's better, okay? It's better in the long run. It's an investment. Okay, invest in your mental health.
Are your most powerful weapons, because you have more options. That's why when you're married or you're in a relationship, it's kind of like the red pill on hard mode. You still need to be on top of everything. You still need to be doing the same shit you were doing before. Now you need to manage a relationship properly. Now, let's talk about what happens when you mess all this up. Now, when you violate the contract. And I see guys do this all the time. It makes my blood boil. They watch these videos, they hear this information, they know the system is rigged against them, and they know the modern woman has been completely corrupted by the culture, but they still go out and violate their own self-interest. They do this because they are driven by delusions of romanticism.
Dude, stop reloading. Finish killing them first.
They want to fit in. They want to show off a girlfriend to their friends. I get it. Violating the contract is the act of ignoring reality. It is when you try to force the old contract to work on a woman who belongs to the streets. She belongs to the streets. Thank you, Future, for that quote. Anyways, it is the Captain Save-A-Ho mentality. Men have this massive ego-driven delusion that they are so special, so high value, so uniquely powerful that they can take a woman who has been ran through the modern hookup culture, who has absorbed radical feminist ideology, who has a high body count, and just magically transform her into a traditional, loyal, submissive wife just by throwing enough money and love and patience at her. Let me break this to you as harshly and as directly as I possibly can. You cannot fix her. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. That J. Cole song.
Cringe alert.
It's true. That song is true. You are not a savior.
Cringe.
You are not Jesus. If a woman does not naturally align with your standards, or godly standards, if she does not possess a fundamental ingrained respect for male authority and traditional value, virtue, and conservative values, your attempt to try to train her to do it is a massive, catastrophic waste of your time. You provide for a woman.
Bro, hold on. Stop. Hold on. Let me... I know he already moved on, okay? But, like, why are you referencing degenerate hip-hop music? Why are you doing that? That's not trad and based. Why are you doing that? That's like part of the new feminist culture. Do you understand? Like J. Cole is he's a soy-pilled beta male feminist. Okay, he's a woke-tard.
Who has not earned it. You are
Am I wrong?
Provisioning. What does this mean? Well, first of all, you're betraying yourself.
Hip hop had a lot of meaning back then. Cops, racism, New World Order, rural country. I think it always has had meaning and narrative and story. It's just it seems like it's changed because it went mainstream. Okay, but there are still smaller artists and even, you know, larger artists, more mainstream artists that have a message and a story that's good. You know, but anyway, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I like old hip hop. I'm an old head. But I'm a unk. Okay. Hollywood wanted rappers to be like ghetto killers and shit. That's what Hollywood always wanted. Okay, what are we talking? Sugar Hill Gang? Like come on, like NWA was really good and they were, you know, they were woke, don't get me wrong, but like they were gangster. Okay, that's anyway, Hollywood wanted rappers to be like ghetto killers and shit. None of those rappers were even remotely like that. LOL. Look at Ludacris. Yeah, I mean, I was never, you know, sorry, I was never a fan of Ludacris. Okay, all the Ludacris fans out there. My bad. I liked him in that once. You know, he was on that Kanye song. He was decent. It was a good verse. You know. That was Ludacris, right? Am I crazy? Oh, Luda was my fave. I just liked Move, bitch. LOL. Yeah. Well, anyway, hip hop has changed, but like it's just stories, you know. That's all it is, and it's a great medium for telling stories. That's why it hasn't really like it fundamentally changed. I don't think. I don't have a lot of favorite rappers, but I do like Dr. Dre. My favorite rapper is, you know, cringe alert, okay? Cringe. My favorite rapper is MF Doom. Okay, I know. White person moment. Don't say Logic. Logic is also my goat, okay? But anyway, Logic. Dude, you don't know who Doom is? Okay, my favorite rapper is Doom. I really like Gangstar. Of course, you got Big L, Big Pun, Tupac. You know, a little bit of Biggie. I'm the whitest black boy. Yeah, Oreo. Wait, I do like Black Eyed Peas. I never listened to them. Will.i.am. Yeah. You are now rocking with.
And your ancestors. You're taking the resources you traded, your energy. You go to a job, you trade your time. That's what a job is, to get money. You're trading this, and you're throwing them into a black hole of female entitlement. Worse than that, you are actively training her to disrespect you. Women don't respect a man that they can easily exploit. So when you ignore her red flags, like when she disrespects you in public, or when she refuses to take accountability for her actions, or when she goes out to clubs with her single friends, or when she maintains a roster of male orbiters on her phone, and you stick around because you are afraid of being alone, you are signaling to her that you are weak. You are.
Don't pause the video, just laughing because I knew you would mention that one with Britney Spears.
A lot of guys will try to dress this weakness up as chivalry, and they'll say to themselves, I'm just being a gentleman. I was raised right, I'm taking the high road. Stop lying to yourself. Chivalry requires a reciprocal social structure. Chivalry was designed for ladies who behaved like ladies. We kind of just went over this for the past hour. I don't know, the old contract is dead. You hold the door open for a lady. You don't hold the door open for an enemy combatant who actively votes to strip away your rights and despises your masculinity. So when you act chivalrous towards a modern feminist who views your very existence as toxic patriarchy, you are not being noble, my friend. I'm glad you have that in your heart. I really do. But you're being played. You're not taking the high road. You're being a clown.
Yeah. You need to stomp on that bitch. That stupid fucking feminist bitch. Okay, stomp on her body.
You're choosing to be a victim. What you need to realize. I kind of want to wrap this
Dude,
up. I just a lot, but I
like how about you just like be nice to everyone until they give you a reason to not be? How about that, bro? How about that? What's wrong with that?
This up. You are the prize. Your labor, your protection,
that evil feminist feminazi
on Earth. Look at the physical world.
My Uber driver had on the Candace Owens podcast. Do you listen to her? No.
Look at the skyscrapers that look like they're touching the clouds.
Nah, I stopped. I feel like people stopped watching her. Do people still watch her? A lot. People were glued to her when she was shit talking Erica Kirk every day. Yeah, that was awesome. Okay, I was watching her then. But no, I'm not gonna lie. I hopped off the Candace train. Okay, I'm not a clandestine operator. I'm not a clandestine operator, bro.
Suspension bridges, like the Golden Gate Bridge. Look at the complex logistics networks. You have an Amazon package at your door the next day. Look at the deep sea oil rigs that's providing all this oil so that we can drive our cars. The massive military that keeps our country safe.
Yeah, what do women have to do with
That's
that?
a separate discussion. Side note there. Men built all of it. Strong, uncompromising, traditional American men built all of this with their blood, their sweat, and their ingenuity.
And their wives had nothing to do with it. Famously,
the greatest builders,
famously,
the greatest explorers, the greatest pioneers, the greatest conquerors in human history. That is America. We are Americans, American men. Your demographic is the load-bearing pillar of human civilization. Dude,
this shit is so gay, bro. It's so fucking gay when they say shit like this. Like, yeah, strong, dominant American men. Big strong men. Dude, it's just like Donald Trump, okay? Donald Trump, he'll be like those sexy firefighters. Oh, they're so big and strong. They saved the day. They're so big. Wow.
Without your absolute willingness to do dangerous, lethal jobs to keep society functioning, this entire civilization will collapse into some sort of Mad Max apocalyptic anarchy scenario in a matter of weeks. So I'm going to say it again. You are the prize. Your labor, your protection, and your intellect are the most valuable commodities on the earth. And because you are generating the overwhelming majority of all
Whoa, holy shit. What? Wait, say that again.
Scenario in a matter of weeks. So I'm going to say it again. You are the prize. Your labor, your protection, and your intellect are the most valuable commodities.
He's spitting. He's spitting right now, bro.
You are the prize. Your labor, your protection, and your intellect are the most valuable commodities.
Yeah, but only if you're a man, though. But only if you are a male, okay? Only if you're one of the boys.
Majority of all the value in this society. You deserve to share the rewards. You deserve absolute peace in your own home. You deserve.
Yeah, bro. Bro, famously, women they don't do labor at all. They don't do real work. They don't contribute to commodity production. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure.
Confiscating it to fund a welfare class. You deserve ultimate respect in the culture. You deserve an environment where you can build a family and a legacy without the constant looming threat of having it legally plundered by some spouse that ended up not liking you and leaving you on a whim because of feelings and a corrupt judge. So look at what's being offered to you in the modern marketplace. You're being asked to provide 100% of your effort and your protection and your provision for maybe, if you are lucky, 10% of traditional cooperation from modern women. You are being asked to pay premium luxury prices for a heavily damaged, depreciating, ungrateful asset. This is why.
Yeah, look, man, rip bozo, okay? You need to understand what marriage is when you sign up for it. If you marry a person that doesn't work, doesn't do anything, doesn't have a job, doesn't cook or clean, doesn't do homestead, okay? I mean, like, yeah, they're kind of a shitty person, but, like, you fucking married them, okay? So, yeah. Rip bozo, okay? Then when they divorce you and take half your shit, sucks to suck, bro. Okay, don't marry someone because you think they're hot, okay, and they're like lazy at the same time. Because that's it. Nobody's gonna marry an ugly, lazy person, okay? It just doesn't happen, okay? So understand what you're signing up for. Okay, that's it. That's it. Look. You know, it sucks. Okay, you're right. If that happens to you, tough shit. Okay, do better.
Why? You need to stop giving them all your time.
Why is this like all women's fault and like and you're just like voiding the other party of responsibility? I don't, because that's what this is. That's exactly what this is, man. You are hyper fixating on the role of women in this system. Okay, and you're also at the same time building a straw man, a caricature of a woman that is, you know, like stealing and whatever, and is lazy, and they're just like, and then at the end they just steal everything because they contributed nothing. This doesn't happen. Okay, this isn't a majority. Okay, and like, even if it is, like, even if it does happen, it's kind of your fault for marrying that person, okay? Like, you're somewhat responsible
Be
for
vetted
it.
thoroughly, and if they don't meet your standards, go find a better one. Modern women, by and large, have completely abandoned their traditional post. It doesn't happen anymore. You owe this broken, anti-American, anti-male system absolutely nothing. You owe yourself and your ancestors and God everything. It is time to elevate your standards to a level that naturally filters out the parasites and the subversive types and the time wasters. If a woman wants the privilege of being in your wife, she needs to bring overwhelming, undeniable value. She needs to be a massive net positive to your peace and your focus and your mission. If she is bringing you drama, feminist entitlement, disrespect, combative attitudes, she's gone. Cut her off without a single second thought, because a lot of bitches out here are like that. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to argue with her. You don't need to try to teach her a lesson. Just remove the grift from your presence, and just let her return to the chaotic streets she belongs to. She belongs to the streets. So, don't let the media shame you either. Don't let your family guilt you into submission because they don't understand the new rules. They use weaponized words like toxic masculinity and misogyny and patriarchy because they're utterly terrified of actual unrestrained masculinity. They know that a man who controls his own mind, and his own money, and his own physical environment, and his own emotions is completely 100% immune to their programming. So, to finally, genuinely, actually wrap this video up, I'm telling you right now, as you listen to this, stand up straight, posture check, roll your shoulders back, puff your chest out, take a hard, unforgiving look at where your time, your energy, and your money are currently going. Audit your whole entire life like it's a financial business audit. Cut the dead weight immediately, liquidate the liabilities, whether they are financial investments, bad habits, or toxic modern women. Adopt a new contract. Protect your hard-earned assets against the state-sponsored bullshit, the economics of betrayal, and refuse to violate the contract for a fleeting moment of physical
Go to
pleasure.
your dead teammates.
Wake up every single day remembering the
That's
ultimate
where
truth.
they're at.
You deserve more, you deserve better, and God's on your side. And just like Myron Gaines famously said, women deserve less. You are the sole architect of your own reality. This is why this is the longest video I've ever made so far. It's because of how important it is. Stop playing this rigged game and start building your own empire. So keep your head on a swivel, guys. Keep grinding. Keep doing what you got to do. Keep your wealth hidden. Keep your body strong. And keep your standards high. Don't play into this. All right, guys. That's really the end of the video now. If you enjoyed this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe. This gets out in the algorithm, so maybe some fucking bozo can hear this, even though he might rage at it. Well, sorry, buddy. If I can save one guy from putting a gun in his mouth because he got divorce raped, then that's worth it. And if I piss off 100 people, but I saved the life of some guy who wanted to potentially harm him,
You think you're saving someone's life with this shit? You think that the guy that that you made up in your head, by the way, but the guy that like married you know, a lazy, good for nothing woman that doesn't do nothing, okay, and then she's like, I'm gonna go fuck Chad, okay, and I'm divorcing you, okay, and then she takes half of his shit, and he's like about to kill himself, okay, and then he's like, wait, hold on, wait, he's like, oh, Jimmy Talks just uploaded a new video. Yes, I'm saved. I have a reason to live. Like, man, look, that didn't happen. Not even once. Okay, you didn't save even one person. Okay, you just all you did with this video is first of all, reveal how much of a dickless loser you are, but also you fed into, right? You like what's the word I'm looking for? You encouraged other men to think like you. Okay, you fed into their insecurities, basically. All right, you are an enabler in that sense. Okay, so this video sucks. It sucked. I hate you.
that's worth it to me. I do care.
I know you know I'm watching you. I know you're probably watching my shit. Unfortunately, nobody's really watching my shit about you. So I kind of just wasted like 3 hours reacting to this shit. Oh my god.
Started this channel to help the world, and I'm still going to continue to do that with every step that I have.
But you know, so, I do this. I have my reasons. Okay, I don't just react to you guys. I don't react to you guys for views. You fucking groypers. Because like I said, nobody fucking watches my reacts to you. But like, I want a variety of perspectives. So even though I get more views reacting to other like more center right-wing creators, I still want to give you my time. So you're welcome. You're welcome, Jimmy.
Channel. You know, I might get banned off of YouTube one day. That's just a reality. Go ahead and follow me on X.
Can't happen. That day cannot come soon enough, bro.
Comments, some funny ass guys on there.
Look, bro. I am praying on your downfall, but anyway, I'll see you on Rumble. Okay, I'm gonna upload this shit on Rumble. I'm doing it. It's happening.
Guys are awesome. Hit me up on Rumble.
I'm gonna censor that N-word that N-bomb that you dropped earlier. Okay, I'm gonna find it. It's somewhere in here. Okay, my future self will find
Dukes
it.
me, you won't be like, well, where the fuck is Jimmy?
I can't remember where it is.
Follow me on Rumble. Very important because I can actually say this kind of shit. And lastly, special shout out to my Patreon supporters. They give me $5 a month. It's not a lot. I think I have around 21, 22 members.
Chill.
I'm not going to say all of your guys' names because obviously I don't want to dox all of you. It's stupid. But
Chill.
I know all of your names, and I really appreciate you guys. You guys have a special blessing from me. You guys are awesome. And by the way, the Patreon is $5 a month. You don't get anything extra from it. It's just to support the channel. That's all it is. If you just want to help me out a little bit, that's all it is.
Bro.
I'm going to sit here and beg for your money, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
That's literally what you were just doing. That's literally it.
America first and America only. Jimmy Docs out.
Bye, Jimmy. All right, wow, that was tough. That was tough to sit through, man. But I had fun. I had fun in some parts. Okay, that was a good video. That was actually a good video, Jimmy. I got a new comment. Let's see here. Oh, this guy responded to me. Yeah, I'll look at that later. Look at that shit later. That's one of Leaflet's little fans wants me to. They want me to debate her so bad, bro. They're trying to convince. I don't know why. I don't know why, man. It ain't gonna go the way you think it will. Okay, I mean, you'll still say that I lost, of course. You know, that's a given, but like, I don't know. It's like they really think that she's gonna own me epic style in the marketplace of ideas. It's delusional. Anyway, on to GTA 5. God damn, I'm gonna have to get a lot of footage for these videos. Took me like an hour and a half to react to that Leaflet one, or maybe like 2 hours. I think more like 2 hours. Holy shit, man. Oh man, I love my Discord server so much more now. It's really great, man. That with that guy gone, I thought I would feel like sad. I thought I would miss him a little bit, you know? I really did, cause you know how like sometimes when you hate someone, and then like they're gone, they're like not like you stop talking to them or they die, or some shit. You're like, oh man, like I kind of miss that person. Like, nah. I don't miss him. Anyway.